let's talk about taking radical responsibility for ourselves. Radical personal responsibility. I was reminded of this yesterday on a walk with a friend, and I'm super grateful for it because sometimes I forget where this all started. And so we were talking about relationships, and she was asking about my husband. And I get this question a lot because my husband is amazing and supportive. I was like near tears yesterday talking with a mentor of like, sometimes he believes in me more than I believe in me. And that feels heavy sometimes. But at the same time, I'm so grateful for him. But he wasn't always on this path of his own journey of personal discovery. That wasn't in his realm. It was in my realm for probably 2 years before it was part of his world. Before he, and I would be like, I'm going to give you the books. I'm going to like just leave this book beside his chair and I'm going to recommend this book, or I'm going to recommend that podcast, or I'm going to read this section to him and it's going to affect him in magical ways and he will want to jump on this bandwagon with me. And that wasn't the case. It wasn't until I surrendered to that this is my journey, not his journey, and I took radical responsibility for my own personal growth, my own discovery journey, that then he stepped into it because change is contagious. And I didn't believe that at the beginning. I really, really wanted him to just be reading these books with me. And eventually that did happen, but reading was not in his day to day. That was not something he enjoyed. That was not something he was looking for. He didn't feel like he was missing anything in life, that he was searching for an answer like I was. And so if you are in a relationship, even friendships, sometimes this will happen with friends, close friends, because we've been friends for a long time. And we want to kind of push. Like, if we're totally being honest, we are pushing this stuff on them because we want them to feel better and we have a great intention with it. But that's not the answer. And so I have a few tips for you about how to take personal responsibility for yourself, how to be aware of it. This is not for the people that are in abusive relationships or have toxic relationships. If there's manipulation, if there's narcissism, if there's control issues, this is not the video. This will trigger the F out of you, and I don't want that for you. You need to find the healing videos. This is a tell it like it is type of video for people in that space. And so I'm just warning, click off right now if that's not where you are, or if you're in a really detrimental relationship. But if you're in a relationship that you're like, and this is friendship or spouses, that you're like, there's something to this, I want to grow, and I'm not ready to move on, or I don't feel like this is absolutely the most horrible thing, then this is for you. Here, you are the captain of your own ship. Ahoy, matey. And become aware of who you're surrounding yourself with. That is one of the biggest things that I really had to take stock of, and I didn't really like it because I liked the people I was hanging out with. I really loved them, and I still love them. It's not about not loving them or being better than them. And I thought that for a long time, that if I let some of these relationships go in the means of that I wasn't talking to them every single week or every few days, or some people I was talking to every single day, I had to really take stock of like, I wanted some changes in my life, some big changes in my life. I was not a happy person. And so I needed to really take stock of what I was spending my time on. And that included who I was surrounding myself with. And so if you're wanting to make a change in your life, you need to surround yourself with role models. This is number one. Not negativity. And sometimes we want to help those negative people when we're highly sensitive ourselves. We know we can help fix those situations, and we know that we have a bright light and that people are automatically drawn to us and they're reaching out to us and they want to hang out with us and they want to have coffee. That's super cool. You can still love on those people from afar, but are you worried, number two, about your needs first? Or are you worried about somebody else's? And is it because you feel validated in some way because you can help that situation? And it gives you like this little high of like, yes, I'm a good person. Yay, pat on my back. I did a good thing. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. There are so many people in my life that I know that I maybe fill their cup when we're together, but I don't always feel fully engaged and excited when I'm with them. That is a major, major, major thing. And this, like, 2.0 here, or 2.1, I guess, is also that we can't have, even if we love them, even if we do feel excited when we're with them, we only have so much of ourselves to give. And so sometimes you need to be a little bit protective of that. And so sometimes it might not even look like that they're a negative or toxic relationship and that you don't want to be around them because they're so bad to be around. No. Maybe it's just that, like, if you're with too many people, that you don't have enough of yourself for yourself. And so you need to take a step back. And there's only, like, I will only do so many social things, including talking on the phone or coffee with friends or going for a beer or something like that. Not because it doesn't make me feel good, but because I know that I'm not connected to myself if I'm constantly on the go with other people. So it has nothing to do with them being toxic. It's just that I don't have it in me. I suffer long term from that, from being busy that way. I also want you to think about number 3 for your personal responsibility to yourself. Do you crave instant gratification, or are you looking at the long-term investment? So an easy analogy of this would be with your health, and we don't always think of this with our mind, but I would love you to reframe that into your mind. But I'll give you a health analogy here. Sometimes we will go on these healthy eating kicks because we want to lose a little bit of weight, or we want to look better, or we want to feel better, which is cool. All of those things are fine. But is it just a 30-day process or a 21-day fix? Or is it a long-term game? Because I'm more interested in helping people with changing their life. I don't want to help you change for 20 days. I don't want you to do this challenge with me. I'm not doing a challenge right now, but if I was, and then just carry on and go back to the way things were. Maybe you picked up a tiny little bit, but like, I want people to see big transformations in their life. Big. And so that is about the long-term investment. So what are you spending your time with that is towards your long-term investment towards yourself, within yourself? Or is it just an instant gratification piece? Because I think a meditation, silent meditation especially, something that's newer in my life that I'm really embracing and enjoying. And so don't shame yourself if you're not there yet. Just work on it. But that is for the long-term investment for me. That's the long-term investment to my nervous system. That's the long-term investment to feeling good. I know that I have anxious qualities about me. And if I don't look after this and this, those will bubble. And do you know who suffers? The people that love me the most, the people that are in my close little bubble, my little group. Those people are the people that I lash out with, or that I, maybe just don't answer properly, or I react instead of responding to them. That long term. Look at your long-term investment. What are you doing through your days? What are you investing your time and energy in? Because your energy is the piece that you will never get back. Your time and energy you will never, ever get back. Money, you will always get back. Always. So are you living in the present? This is number 4, I think we're on. Are you living in the present, or are you reliving the past? And actually, I love the line of this, but we're all reliving the past. We are. This is how we react to things. This is why we do our things throughout the day, because we've trained our brains to, our subconscious just knows, you get out of bed on this side, and then you brush your teeth with this hand, and then, you go to the washroom and you do all of these things because you're reliving the past. You already know. So if you have moved to a new house, you will notice that there's some more bandwidth there, and sometimes it can be really exciting. I find it really exciting when I'm in a new space of what my morning practice will look like, because it's completely different. I'm not reliving my past, so I get to decide. So you want to be really aware of what are you just reliving each day, because that's what you've done in the past. So be aware of that. The last one I want to share with you about taking radical personal responsibility is, are you grumbling about circumstances? You can pick anything here. The job that you're at, the relationships you're in, your health, how you feel, like anything. You can pick anything: the house you live in, the car you drive, the amount of income that you make, how you make your income, all of these pieces. Are you grumbling about how you're stuck in this spot, or are you taking steps to make it better? Because it goes again, one step you, one step universe, one step you, one step universe. And so if there's something that you're trying to manifest in your life and you want to make a change in, stop grumbling about the circumstances. Where your intention goes, where you're, like what you're thinking about is where your energy flows to. Okay, this is part of your reticulating activating system, your RAS. And I'm not going to go into that on this one. I'll do another video, actually. I'll link it to you for you here about your RAS. But really pay attention. Are you taking responsibility for the circumstances that are in your life? Where you're living, what you're driving, what you're doing throughout your days, your relationships. Are they the people that are lighting you up? If they're not, why? Sometimes we need to look in the mirror. And I have seen so many relationships do a 180 and feel so fulfilled. Like I have a certain client that I'm thinking of actually that she's just amazing. Her and her husband, massive work on themselves over a couple of years. And they were in a hard place, but they worked on themselves and they took personal responsibility for themselves. They didn't blame the other person. They didn't say, you should do this, you should do that. That's what'll make our relationship better. It doesn't work that way. So again, back to my amazing husband who's doing all of this cool stuff in the last year, couple of years, but like the last 6 months, he's dug in deep on himself. And I'm so freaking proud of him because change is contagious. Not because I was pushing on him and pushing on him and pushing on him that he needed to change. Because if we're honest, we are all perfectly whole just as we are, right? And so he was perfect just as he was. That's who I married. That's who I got into the relationship with. Who am I to judge that he needs to change himself because I want him to change? It doesn't work that way.